Hi, everybody. Welcome to the
Ah,
My Village Well podcast. I am so excited that you're here. Oh, my word. We have a gem of a human who I actually just met very recently, but everything's a divine appointment. And so we've got Kiriaki Gamez here with us from BeWellLine. And BeWellLine is an alter health group company that's dedicated to making mental health care, life guidance, and community-based counseling available to everyone across California free of charge. Okay, so mic drop. Thank you so much for saying yes and being here today on the pod.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. I've just been dying to meet you face to face, even if it's virtually.
Here we are. And these guys don't know, but like we finally got on them. Oh my God, so nice to meet you. Because we've been corresponding
Mhm.
via email. And you reached out to me, Kiriaki. Like you didn't know me from Adam. And I'm not even really quite sure how you found me, but you were like, hey, we might be interested in, kind of hooking up or linking up together somehow. And I looked at the website and I was like, what's happening? This is amazing. And I want to know more about it. So, can you give us kind of a little bit of background about BeWellLine and how it came to be and how is it free and where can we find you and all that stuff?
Of course, yeah. So the Be Well line first had started through the disasters of the floods that we had in Santa Clara County. So we were helping individuals with resources, anything that was related to the floods and what they needed. But now our funding has opened where we're able to help people beyond that. Anyone who's looking for mental health help is able to, access our resources and get that help. And right now we've been focusing on our crisis text and phone line. And we also have our support groups, disaster preparedness training, presentations to offer for different companies, just so they can see how their company can align with ours and what we can do to help them. Yes, but completely free. That's what I love. It's, there's no selling point, there's nothing. It's just individuals who really just want to help people through any kind of chaos that they may be feeling, which is beautiful.
Oh my word. I mean, so basically it sounds like the company was born out of crisis with the floods that happened in Santa Clara. And so how did that come about? Were you guys like, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming. We need to help people? Because anytime there's a catastrophe, my dad lost his house in the fires of Santa Rosa.
Mm,
Like, whenever there's devastation like that, there's a lot that comes up. And there's a lot of also, I've noticed in my own walk, like PTSD, like anytime we go somewhere and we're like, we could retire here. And I'm like, there's too many trees. It could burn down in a heartbeat. Like, that stuff lives within us when we walk
yeah.
through a situation like that. And so were you like boots on the ground? Were you guys boots on the ground helping people or how did that work?
So the company that it originates from is from Alter Health. So Be Well Line is a tag along from that company, which that company has been around for approximately five or so years. And it's the same scope, helping people with mental health. Probably from what I know, because I did not start with the company right when, they were reaching out during
Yeah,
the floods. I
yeah,
recently had started with them.
yeah.
So that answer is a little bit unclear to me. I don't want to just give an answer and not be
I
completely
appreciate your
100% honest.
honesty. I'm like, tell me everything. You're like, I don't know. Like, let me research.
Yeah, no,
No,
that's a great question.
yeah, I appreciate the honesty with that. And like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, well, you were probably like, well, you're a little younger than I am. Did you ever think you would be doing something like what you're doing now? Like, can you tell us a little bit about what is your scope in all of this, getting, free healthcare to people in California? Like, how do you help do that?
Of course. Yeah, I always knew I wanted to be in a position reaching out and helping people.
Hmm.
I'm a graduate from Grand Canyon University with my master's in psychology, and I'm
Hmm.
aiming towards my doctoral degree so I can be a therapist. So I've always known that I wanted to help. And being in this position now, having an opportunity to work with the Be Well line and getting to meet people, connecting with awesome people like yourself. There's so many people right here, so many different needs. And it's not that I've been oblivious to these needs. It's been very apparent that there's so many needs, but there's not many. I would say there are resources, but a lot of people don't know about the resources.
Yeah.
Um, I think even for myself as a teenager, looking for help, I think a lot of people start in that position where they turn to their schools to. I wouldn't even say they turn to their schools. I think
Hmm.
schools more intervene when they see somebody needs help and they can offer these resources. So being able to connect with organizations like yours where
Oh,
you meet with people where you're like, hey, there's this awesome free program that you can call and just get some help. And it's just the
oh,
word of mouth of being able to connect.
I mean, I was just on a call last night. The village is in this place where I'm literally being pushed to expand, and
Mm,
how we were talking about, I said, oh my gosh, like so many of us, we walk through life and we're each kind of in our own lane doing our thing, but at times it can feel very lonely. We can feel very isolated. I find it so interesting how I live in the Bay Area and I barely know my neighbors.
mm,
It's like I live in this little suburb, and so it's like to come to a place like Be Well Line or the village in community with people who are kind of walking, alongside of you, so that you recognize you're not by yourself. You walk with
exactly.
others. You're not the only one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really what the Be Well line really focuses on is togetherness and community. I think one of the most important things I've had to learn in my personal life is the importance of togetherness and community.
Oh,
Um, People growing up from different kind of backgrounds, they're taught many different things, and they have to break these generational I don't want to say curses, but these generational bonds or bondages that they have learned that isn't necessarily the most positive thing for them of, be independent or don't ask for help. That's going to show your
oh,
weakness or
totally.
don't cry, you
Oh my
know.
God. I'm such a crier. I'm such a crier. And
Yeah.
thank God for my dad who role modeled that for me. You're so right.
Hmm.
Talking about, typically, it's nature nurture, but we're a product of like, we're watching we're the role models, the environment that we came up with. And really, I look at your generation, my daughter's generation, and I'm like, the world is not ready. The world better
Yeah.
buckle up because these young people know what's what. And they are
Yeah. It's
coming
amazing.
in, asking for help, recognizing, especially I feel as though, and you could speak to this maybe too, like during the pandemic. Oh my word. Talk about a shift. I mean, my whole family was here. I have five daughters, like, and everyone was in therapy.
Mm.
All of us.
That's
You know,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. Through the pandemic, we really have seen the aftermath of it still in effect, where it's a pandemic of loneliness. And
Oh,
that's what shatters my heart. And I'm so emotional now, so I'm even getting teary eyed. But if you had met me a couple years back, I would hide my emotions. So there's so much inner work that I've had to do within myself to be in this place where, hey, my cup is full. Let me go ahead and fill your cup up. And that's what's really the foundation of the Be Well line. There's these caretakers that help these people receiving help that they need to have their cups full in order to help other people. Um, but it's truly heartbreaking to really understand that the these individuals who are reaching out for help, they really don't have anybody else to talk to or don't feel comfortable or don't have that sense of community. And now we can be part of their community and their support, which is so heartbreaking because I look at how how much God has given me through my
yeah.
support system and how many people I have around me that I can turn to at
Hmm.
any given point.
Mhm.
And it's not like that for everybody. And we've really seen that after the pandemic, where people have been isolated and they were forced to really face their feelings. And it was the first time where they were actually getting the chance to do that.
Oh my word, what a gift. And the fact that it's free of charge just blows my mind. Um, because we live in a culture when someone tries to peddle you something, you're like, well, what do you want from me? What do you want? And you're like, I don't want anything. I just want you to get in touch with your emotions.
Exactly. Like, no, that's too much of a cost.
It's like liberation, right? To be all
Mhm.
the things. Glennon Doyle talks about like armoring up, how we show up in the world and how she knows she's armoring up. She sends in the representative, and how I really do think that we are in a space in time right now where that's being dismantled, where we can show up and we are encouraging one another to show up, because when you show up as your authentic self, tears, snotty cry, the whole thing, I'm all, oh my God, I'll hold your hair, it's okay, and I know you're going to do the same for me, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the community that we need around us, just authentic people who are just really looking to just help. That's really it. And
Yeah,
it does take a special kind of person to do that. I think they've had to have gone through their own trials and errors to understand, like, oh man, like this was tough for me. I don't want anybody else to have to struggle as much as I have to have
yeah.
received help or to pave the way for somebody else. I think that's just how we grow as a community. We're able to share what we've learned to other people. So it just won't be so, life will be difficult, but it won't be as difficult for them.
Yeah, and we learn these coping strategies along the way of what is helpful. Who can I speak to that's safe and trusted? Which community can I go into and they're fully loving me just as I am, whether I speak or I don't speak, whether I just roll in as is. And so, like, would you mind sharing what are some of the things specifically that you offer to people? Like, is it online? Is it in person? Can I text someone? Can I just call someone? Like, what is that? Can
Mm-hmm.
I email someone? Like, what are some of the different services that you guys offer?
So right now through our website, you can access the chat center. If someone's just more comfortable not speaking to somebody directly, they
Yeah,
can also call us. And our phone lines are open for Santa Clara County. It's from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, where they can just call and receive any type of help that they need. If they just need emotional support, if they need resources, where to find shelter, food,
hmm,
a therapist. We're also having our support group soon, which will be in person and virtually. So for
love that.
anxiety, depression, um, really we have such a availability to offer what these different organizations need, as long as we have, as long as our funding is there and we can do that. Um, so that's what's really exciting. It's very new where, the program directors are like, let's hear your ideas. Like, what can
Yeah,
we, what can we bring forth to the community? Um, so we've had different ideas. One of our team members today, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, where she's like, we should do yoga in the park. I'm like, that's so cute. That would be really cute to do with
how
people.
cool. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Right? And I happen to know a Qigong instructor. My husband does that, but
Oh, nice.
but he talks, he'll tell me firsthand, he's like, oh my gosh, Michelle, the healing that takes place in an hour. And part of that is because we're in a space. Part of that is because we're remembering where we come from. Another part of that
Mhm.
is because we're doing it collectively. Like there's something that happens when we're together doing that. We each need to do our own work, but then there's a healing that takes place when like we're together in a safe place as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what we have right now. We have our presentations that we offer to different companies to say, hey, these are your values, these are our values. Here's how we can connect, and disaster preparedness training. So that kind of is more of the scope of the floods that we had, like how we can prepare our families or those with disabilities. If there's an emergency, do they know what to do? And most people don't, people with pets or people with wheelchairs or hearing loss, or just different um, cognitive imparities like that. Like how can we help these people make it through a disaster, earthquake, flood?
Oh my
So
gosh.
I
Or
think
just being alive.
that's exactly. I think what we have here are earthquakes and floods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love all the different like modalities of meeting people where they are because whether it's a phone call or a text or chat or an in-person small group, like then you're casting the net in a space where you're meeting people where you are. I had the honor of walking with a young person just recently who was walking through something, and her mama had reached out to me, and I just said, tell her whatever, like however she wants to communicate, whether it's text or phone call or email, or like, if I video her, like, like I just wanted to meet her
Yeah,
where she was, and I wanted to be respectful of that. And so what an honor it
exactly.
is to walk beside someone, the work that you're doing. Ooh, girl, your parents must be proud of you.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, it's awesome. I'm happy to be here for sure.
Mm. You guys get a hold of this beautiful girl from BeWellLine. Can you tell us where we can find you and the work that you are promoting? Where would we look for that?
Let me get the links. Let me read them out to you because I have them here.
Sure.
So for our website and our services, including that the help chat, would be at sbsc.bewellline.com.
Okay, and I'll include that link in the show notes.
Thank you.
Yep.
And our crisis phone line is 650-866-1788.
Okay.
And we also have our Facebook up, which is the Be Well Line SB/SC. And our Instagram tag is sbsc.bewell.line.
They're everywhere, y'all. So listen, this is how you can help. This is how you can help Love Sprinklers in the Village. This is how we can help Kiriaki and BeWellLine amplify is we share this. We let people know, hey, did you hear about there are free mental health services if you live, in California in these areas, Santa Clara County and Santa Barbara? Did I get that part right?
Yes, also outside the scope of those counties, as long as they're in California, we can help.
Okay, so our job is to amplify and tell folks that this is available for free to everyone living in the state of California. Oh my word, what a pleasure it was to speak with you. I feel like just saying amen.
It was so nice to connect with you.
So everybody out there, be well, take such good care, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for stopping by the village.